you're right about that. Good evening. I'm calling the Monday, April 25th, 2022 Planning Commission meeting to order. First item on the agenda is not the Pledge of Allegiance. We are going to swear in new commission members. Julie, I think you'll be doing that.
First up, we have Daniel Grody. Dan, if you could stand, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Daniel Grody,
I, Daniel Grody,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and of the state of Minnesota,
and of the state of Minnesota,
and faithfully discharge the duties of the Planning Commission
and faithfully discharge the duties of the Planning Commission
of the city of Eden Prairie in the county of Hennepin and state of Minnesota
of the city of Eden Prairie in the county of Hennepin and the state of Minnesota,
to the best of my judgment and ability.
to the best of my judgment and ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Frank? Raise your right hand, please. I, Frank Sherwood,
I, Frank Sherwood,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of Minnesota,
and the state of Minnesota,
and faithfully discharge the duties of the Planning Commission
and faithfully discharge the duties of the Planning Commission
of the city of Eden Prairie in the county of Hennepin and state of Minnesota
of the city of Eden Prairie in the county of Hennepin in the state of Minnesota,
to the best of my judgment and ability.
to the best of my judgment and ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you.
Congratulations, new members. Welcome aboard. We look forward to having you. All right. Moving on, we will go to the Pledge of Allegiance. Will everyone please rise?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. All right. First item on the agenda after that is the approval of tonight's agenda. Do I have any requests for changes to the agenda? All right. Entertain a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
Motion to approve tonight's agenda.
All right. A motion from Commissioner Taylor. Do I have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Meddy. All right. Second. All those in favor of approving tonight's agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Our agenda is approved. Moving on, we have the minutes from the, February 14th, 2022 meeting. It's a while ago. All right. Did everyone have a chance to look back at, and dig in the memory? Any requests for changes or edits to the minutes? All right. Entertaining a motion to approve the minutes from February 14th.
Mr. Chair, I'll move to approve the minutes from February 14th, 2022.
All right, a motion from Commissioner Farr. Do I have a second? Second. Commissioner Kirk with a second. All those in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Would anyone like to abstain? How about abstain? Okay. Two abstain.
I wasn't here, so I'll abstain.
Okay, great. 3 abstains. All right, minutes are approved. All right, public hearing tonight. We have one public hearing on the docket, and that is Sweet Living of Eden Prairie. This is a request for a planned unit development concept review on 2.85 acres, planned unit development amendment with waivers on 2.85 acres, site plan review on 2.85 acres, preliminary plat of one parcel into one lot and 2 outlots on 2.85 acres. Will the proponent of the project please come forward? Good evening.
Good evening.
If you would state your name
members.
and spell it for the record, please,
Yeah,
and tell us about your project.
Jeremy Larson, Jeremylarson. I'm here on behalf of Sweet Living. Address is 1824 Berkeley Road, White Bear Lake. And the name of our company is Sweet Living, like I mentioned, and we're here to propose a 32-unit memory care and assisted living facility. I do have a PowerPoint presentation I've prepared that I could walk through as well. All right, we have 7 communities open throughout the Twin Cities. We have another 6 communities under construction throughout the Twin Cities. We build, operate, and own these communities. We have the real estate company, we own the construction company, and we own the care company. So we're a one-stop shop. We don't package these off and sell them. We keep them and we run them. Our building consists of 32 units, 20 assisted living units, and 12 memory care units. None of our residents drive. It's high care, high acuity. We employ 20 to 25 people per building. That's part-time and full-time employees. Employees consist of housing directors, RNs, activity directors, cooks, and caregivers. We unofficially partner with local churches, daycares, other outside companies that can provide entertainment for our seniors as well as activities. We have 6 to 8 employees during the day and 3 to 4 employees at night. This project in particular has 17 parking stalls. We are also going to provide solar panels on the roof, and we will have 1 electric vehicle charging station on site. Here's the site layout, a little hard to see, but like I said, part of the building is 20 units assisted living, and the other 12 are memory care. Even the assisted living side is high care. Their next step is to move over to the memory care side. The memory care side is separate from the assisted side. We have, wanderers throughout that area, so you will need to have a code to get in and out of that area. As well as the entire building, inside and out, you need to have a code to get in, you need to have a code to get out. And that goes for the patio area in the back as well. Oops, I thought I had maybe the rendering. There's the rendering. So we have LP Smart Side is the siding material that we would be using, as well as stone. And we have an architectural grade shingle, and we have some dormers as well to kind of dress it up a little bit. Let's go back here. So as far as the tree removal, you'll see on this page, there are a lot of trees on site, but in order to obviously do this project, you have to remove some trees. You'll see wherever there's an X, those are the trees that will be removed. And here's the example of where we will be planting new trees for the site, as well as providing additional screening. Everything you see a circle on there is all new trees being planted. Here's a rendering again. Here's a couple pictures. The picture on the left is our Little Canada building. It's virtually the same. It's a rectangle shape with the dormers, same building materials. On the right is what you would see when you walk in, one of the welcoming areas. On the left, that's one of our dining areas. On the right, that's just a sitting lounge with a TV. On the left, that's our one of the nursing stations. On the right, we have a beauty salon where residents can get a haircut. There's an example of some of the rooms. Obviously, they're a little bare bone, but those aren't actual residents' rooms. We allow them to bring in their own furniture and spruce it up how they would like. And I don't know if you guys want me to play one of our video links. Someone professionally narrates the video better than I can. If you'd like to see it, we can definitely play that. Otherwise, we don't have to. It's up to you guys. It's just a minute or two long. You want to see it?
Sure.
All right. I don't know how to get down to the. Why don't you do the top one? That's our newest. We just opened that one up a month ago at Burnsville location. It's a little bit of a different shape of the building. We either do a rectangle shape or we do an L shape. Burnsville's an L shape, but the inside is virtually the same how it's structured. If it ends up working. Why the song is going.
I'm not sure.
Where our residents get to relax and be pampered. King Me. This is where our residents can play games, listen to music, and do puzzles. This is our private deluxe studio with all the amenities of home. Each one has a wall-mounted television. You have access to your own heating and cooling system and a mini kitchenette. I mean, what more do you need? Every unit has a private bathroom with a handicap-accessible shower and an emergency system, just in case. And for storage purposes, everyone has their own closet. Need to get your laundry done? We've got you covered. Our care staff and housekeeping teams do up to 2 loads a week. And this is our memory care wing with 24-hour supervision, access to our talented caregiving and nursing team, and 12 resident units. It's important for our residents to feel comfortable, and this feels just like home. Your loved one has access to a dedicated nursing team available to them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I mean, how cozy is this? I could sit here and read my book all day. Our philosophy is to provide quality care to seniors with a personal touch. Our communities are small and intimate, providing a cozy, warm atmosphere that feels much like home. Thanks for taking the tour of our brand new, beautiful Burnsville community. Come discover what makes us different.
Rectangle shaped building. But I'm here to answer any questions you guys may have, if you have any.
Great. Any initial questions for Mr. Larson?
Mr. Chair?
Yeah, Commissioner Farr.
I'll fire one out. I think I saw the answer, and maybe on one of your earlier slides when you showed us the site plan, but one of the staff comments was that you had to move the underground stormwater chamber out of the main entrance driveway in case it ever needed to get maintained. You needed to have access to the facility. Did you address that in your site plan yet, or not?
I think that's a condition. I'm not sure. Dan, do you know?
It was a condition,
so
yeah.
it will be addressed.
Okay, it looks like the site plan that was on the screen was different than the ones that we got, so
Oh.
that's why I didn't know if it was shifted already or not.
News to me.
You don't know? Okay, we'll inquire later. Thank you.
Other questions? Commissioner Meddy?
Can you give us a sense of, because I'm not like super familiar with memory care units and then also assisted living, but where does this sort of lie in the scope of, your super luxury stuff to kind of your basic or affordable middle ground?
So, from what I've been told, we're more affordable compared to a lot of companies that are up and running throughout the Twin Cities. Because of our high care nature of the residents needing high care. I mean, we don't have a lot of the amenities. You won't see like a workout room. You won't see, anything like that where it's high activity. We do have someone who runs the activities throughout the building, and they do exercises and they do crafts and everything like that. But you're not going to see all the workout centers, movie theaters, stuff like that you would see at a bigger building. It's end of life. Our average resident lives in our facility 2 to 4 years typically, and that's even the assisted side. And like I said, their next move is to go over to the memory care side. I don't know if that helps a little bit.
Yeah, thanks.
But, yeah.
And then my other question is just kind of with the uniqueness of the site and sort of this dead end, and obviously there's the turning kind
Yep.
of situation for fire trucks. I
Yep.
assume, I don't know how often you have maybe like the smaller buses like Metro Mobility and whatnot servicing the residents, but do you foresee, I don't know if you have this condition at other properties or not, do you think that'll be, easily kind of able for some of those potentially larger vehicles to maneuver in and out of the site?
I don't see much use for that hammerhead other than an emergency if a fire truck or an ambulance has to come in. Even an ambulance, I don't anticipate them using that spot. I don't think we've ever had a fire truck have to show up to one of our facilities. They can usually do their radiuses right around the parking lot.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
A question for you. Did you have a neighborhood meeting at all or hear from neighbors?
Yeah, we did have a neighborhood meeting. We had about 3 people show up. I believe 2 of them are sitting right here. So as far as I know, there weren't any major concerns. Everyone was pretty supportive, but we haven't had any phone calls or emails from any neighbors.
Mr. Chair?
Yes. Commissioner Tiller.
Thank you. So the units are going to be used for assisted living and memory care. Down the road, is there plans or do you see plans of having skilled nursing capabilities as well at the center?
We could end up having more skilled nursing, but our units are suited to have such if we need. We already do 2-person transfers and food to feedings if a resident needs that. So we are still pretty high care. We're not quite to the nursing home level,
Okay.
but we could definitely transition into that per resident if we needed to.
Okay, thank you.
I think that's all for now, Ms. Larson. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Julie, would you take us through the planner's report?
Yes, sir. The applications before you this evening are for PUD concept review as well as a PUD with waivers, site plan review, and a preliminary plat. Excuse me. So as the proponent mentioned, the proposal before you is for 32 units, a combination of memory care and assisted living facilities. The site plan that is proposed does comply with the parking requirements. It is the RM 6.5 zoning district, so there are not architectural requirements of that zoning district like there are with the high-density residential zoning districts. The waiver that is being requested is requesting additional density on the site up to about 11.2 units per acre, which falls within the range of density that's allowed in the medium density guiding of the comprehensive plan, which is what this property is guided for, and it is currently already zoned RM 6.5. The landscaping that is proposed does exceed the city code requirements, and the tree replacement requirements based on the tree removals that will occur in order to facilitate the construction do comply with city code requirements as well. So staff is recommending approval of the plan as you see it, subject to the conditions before you this evening, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you. Questions for the city? Commissioner Mitty?
This question isn't like important, but I'm kind of curious because I know on some of these, why not rezone it to make then the zoning align and instead do a waiver? Because I feel like on some of them, we've simply rezoned it to make the zoning align with the density. And I know it aligns with the comprehensive plan, which is great, but I'm just kind of curious why administratively that it's a waiver as opposed to a rezone.
Mr. Chair, members of the commission, so it's a complicated equation when it comes to the zoning allowed, or excuse me, the density allowed by the zoning ordinance and the density allowed by the comprehensive plan. So the property is guided medium density residential. As you recall, that's something that came before the Planning Commission a couple of years ago. My memory's failing me on exactly when. To re-guide it to medium density. The medium density zoning district allows 5 to 14 units per acre. The corresponding zoning district to medium density is the RM65. The RM65 does have a maximum density of right around 7 units per acre. So you can come in and request a density that's consistent with the comp plan, but it requires a PUD process in order to do that. The RM 2.5 zoning district, on the other hand, has a maximum density of roughly 17 units per acre. So some of those recent development projects that the commission and council have reviewed that are multifamily 3-4 story unit apartment, or 3 and 4 story apartment buildings, all of those will require a PUD waiver to allow that additional density that is consistent with the comprehensive plan as well. So as I said, it's a bit of a complicated equation as you go through those, but this is the mechanism and the process that the city has utilized for medium and high density projects for quite some time.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Kirk.
can I just comment on that a little bit? Because I was thinking the same thing when I was looking at this, but if you look at the population is equivalent to a more typical zoning like that, because I think what's your calculations, Julie, about averaging 2.5 residents per unit, where here it's 1 resident per unit. So, I mean, we know there's never going to be more than 1 resident per unit. So if you look at it by a population density, it's right in that 6.5 as opposed to a unit density. And that's what I kind of got my head around when I was looking at that.
That's a good
So the
point.
waiver seems to make sense for considering there's only a single resident per unit.
Other questions for the city? All right, this is a public hearing. If anyone would like to come forward and speak for or against this project, please come up to the podium now. Good evening. If you could state your name and spell it for the record, please, and
My name is Mike Amundson, A-M-U-N-D-S-O-N. I live on 9565 Garrison Way.
good evening.
Good evening. So I'll just start with what I like about this. You know, of all the proposals that I've seen in the last year, I really like the fact that this is going to be like something that doesn't have a lot of traffic coming into it. It's a single story, which I really, really like. So in general, I support this. So I think it'll look nice. I think it'll fit good in the neighborhood. My only really good concern about it is kind of where it's located on the property. I think ideally, to be fair for all the property owners, it would be kind of ideal that the building would be centered from north to south on the property. And this thing is pushed way to the south, and part of it has to do with the driveway and the road. And I realize that it can't actually be in the center of the property because you have the driveway. But if you look at the driveway, then it kind of curves to the south, and that pushes kind of the whole building down to basically the very southern part of the property. So I'm wondering if it would be possible, if this was approved, to have that whole road and parking things just kind of be a straight line coming in. That way it would, even if you pushed it like 20 or 30 feet, it gives you additional room to plant trees and take less trees down in there, you know. Because I'm on the southern property and I would prefer this thing, the building, just pushed back a little bit. But that's really my only concern about it.
Great. Thank you for your comments.
Mm-hmm.
Would anyone else like to come forward during public comment time? All right. I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing portion of this.
Make a motion.
Commissioner Grode, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second from Commissioner Gooding. All those in favor of closing public hearing, say aye.
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 Opposed? All right, public hearing's closed. Further discussion.
I would be curious if the developer has any commentary on the location of the building. I don't know, it could be, to do with the civil and the grading of the site. I'm not sure if they know that or not, or have their civil engineer here.
Mr. Larson, would you will speak to the positioning of the building?
Our engineer is not here tonight, but I think it had to do with the grading. I think this was the only spot really the building could go. I guess I don't have any other comments besides that, but when looking at every option with our engineers, this was the best spot for it, so.
Other discussion or?
I guess I'll speak up. I think that this is the third proposal we've seen for this property. I agree with some of the earlier comments. This seems to be a pretty good fit, in my opinion. Low traffic impact, in fact, virtually a zero traffic impact, and certainly quiet neighbors. So for me, it seems to be a pretty good fit for the spot.
On one of the submittal drawings, there was a comment related to the number of existing ash trees that are going to stay that will need treatment. And I don't know if that's part of the development agreement or if it's just a note from the, that's there for whatever reason, but untreated, that could lose a lot of its ground cover over the, trees over the years. So is that a requirement of this project, that those trees be treated?
Mr. Chair, members of the commission, with EAB populations where they're at now, specifically in this area, that is kind of a new requirement that we'll be looking to see if it's part of the development agreement or what it is. But basically the comment is for those trees to be counted as being saved, they will need to be treated moving into the future.
All right, thank you.
Any other comments?
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Tiller.
You mentioned taking down a lot of trees and planting others. And currently, where, the rear of the building that's facing or going to be kind of up to the neighbors behind you, are there plans to keep those mature trees up as a fence or a buffer so that the neighbors that's going to be looking at the back of the building have some type of fencing where they don't have to see the building, especially during the summertime?
Yeah, our goal is to not cut any trees down we don't have to. We want to keep as many mature trees as we possibly can on site to help with the screening, and obviously we don't want to cut down a nice, healthy, mature tree anyway. So anything we could keep back there, we're going to plan on keeping for sure.
Okay, thank you.
All right. I think I'd echo Commissioner Kirk's comments. Last time I think there was groupings of concerns that were like a dozen of them, and they all alleviated with this project, I think, so that's good. I would entertain a motion, or Julie?
Mr. Chair, members of the commission, just to follow up on that question, if you'll recall that on the south of this property, there is a significantly sized outlot that's owned by a homeowners association that is maintained as open space. So it's to kind of clarify the concern that was expressed. There's not backyards immediately bumping up against the south property line of this project, but rather there's that conservation space between the two.
Thanks, Julie. All right, if there's no other comments or discussion, I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, move to recommend approval for a planned unit development concept review on 2.85 acres, plan unit development amendment with waivers on 2.85 acres, site plan review on 2.85 acres, and preliminary plat with one parcel into one lot and two outlots on 2.85 acres based on the plan stamp dated March 26, 2022, and the staff report dated April 21, 2022.
All right, I have a motion for approval from Commissioner Kirk. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Marcos, second. All those in favor of approving, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Would anyone like to abstain? All right. Congratulations, your project's moving forward to the next step. Thank you, nice presentation. All right, moving on. Julie, do we have any planners reports?
No, sir.
All right, do we have any members reports? Oh, seeing none, all right. Entertain a motion to adjourn this evening.
So move.
We have a motion, do I have a second?
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 All right, all those in favor of adjourning tonight, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting's adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
That was it.